we are going to we're going to take it up a notch here, especially at Millennial Skills. It's going to be an awesome opportunity for you guys to go out there and build your business in ways that were never possible before. So I'm really, really excited to dig in. I want to mention again, if you guys have not got in the chat, please go jump in there and let me know what is the number one thing that you want to get into today, and what are some questions that you have. And if you guys stick around to the end, I'm actually going to give you my real estate chatbot template that you guys can actually plug into your own business if obviously you're a real estate agent, or you can use it to start building your agency. So let's kind of jump in, and I want to share with you guys just a kind of quick stat here. And I'd love to know, do you guys know how much the average, what would you guys guess the average app developer, what do you guys know what the average app development costs? I'm curious if you guys know. Throw down in the chat a guess. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's like how many thousands of dollars do you think that the average business pays for their app development, right? I want you to kind of throw those down there. I'm curious. Josie says 1,500. What else do you guys think for a typical app, right? Like an app that's going to show up on the on the Apple or the Android market, right? I'm curious, what do you guys think that typical businesses would spend? Because honestly, it was kind of really interesting to me. Daniel says 5K plus. I want to actually share with you something, kind of intriguing, right? Or maybe mind-blowing. At least it was for me. The average app development costs over $100,000, right? Over 57% of businesses, I believe, expect to pay anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000, upwards sometimes of $500,000 for almost just a basic app development. So, right? So just imagine that. Just think about that. And I'm curious, did you guys know? Let me know. Bring up that chat. We're gonna be I'm gonna be asking lots of questions, and I want to know who's answering. I'm gonna do this. I decided right now, the person who's the most engaged person and who actually has the most comments, I'm gonna give you a one-on-one consultation with me in this new year. So I want to incentivize you, and yes, I'm gonna bribe you to actually participate here because I think it's going to be helpful. But I'm curious for you guys, how many of you guys were surprised that it cost that much, right? How many of you guys thought that it was something, the basic, if you want to get just a basic app, you're going to be talking, in the tens of thousands of dollars. And the reason that I start this conversation there is because chatbots are this amazing opportunity where marketing and app developing collide, right? We're marketing all of our knowledge about Facebook ads, all of our knowledge about funnels, all of our knowledge about all of these, digital marketing tactics, these entrepreneur tactics, these business tactics, all of these things that have helped us to be able to create online businesses. They were pretty exclusive, right? Well, now all of a sudden, what's great about it is that you are able to take these same kind of tools and apply it to an industry and apply it to a market that is used to and is willing to pay tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So just think about that, right? I want to say that to you because there is going to be someone on this call who sells a $10,000 bot. $10,000 bots are no big deal, right? There's going to be someone on this call who sells a $100,000 bot. There's going to, eventually someone will land $1 million messenger marketing deal. It will happen. I guarantee you, because within 3 to 5 years, mark my words, every single legitimate business and organization will utilize messenger marketing because it is so engaging, because it is such a unique way of communicating, and it's how people want to be able to communicate. So if you guys would love to start amping up your prices, right? If you'd like to start charging more for your services, if you'd love to be able to stand out in an empty kind of crowd where there's not a lot of people doing it, let me know, right? Is that yes? Let me know. Bring up that chat. Are you guys down to kind of up your prices? Is that something that you guys would be interested in? Sue says yes. Daniel says yes. Jess says yes. Okay, cool. Bob says he's down. All right, guys. I love it. Oh, all of a sudden, we throw out, all of a sudden I throw out a consultation call and everybody's in. All right, let's do it. I am into bribery if it's going to help you guys. So let's keep going. And when I think about it for you, right, I think about, for me, I got into this agency world and I realized that there were so many people pitching Facebook ads. there were so many people in this crowded marketing space, right? It was so hard because it felt like everybody and their mother, excuse my that language, that kind of terminology that it's offensive, but everybody and their mom and their aunt and their sister felt like they knew how to do Facebook ads, right? And so it was this really competitive, almost bloody red market. And as I started to find ways to be able to do it, as I started to be able to find ways to be able to get clients, I realized that there was no one doing chatbots. There was no one pitching messenger marketing. And so it was this opportunity for me to really stand out. So I was the only one doing it. And people think that I know how to do chatbots. And people think I'm like some crazy genius. And the reality is like, I mean, it's like, yeah, like I'm definitely think I'm smart for sure, but I'm not any genius, right? They associate messenger marketing and they associate chatbots because of the level and the depth of how engaging it is and how interactive it is. They think that it's like you're some advanced coder. And so by doing this, you can really set yourself apart and position yourself. If you are selling bots to other businesses, you can position yourself as one of the only people doing messenger marketing, because there's just not a lot of people, right? Even though it's very kind of popular in our world, there's not a lot of people being chatbot developers, frankly. And secondly, if you are a business that sells a product or a service, all of a sudden, if you start using messenger marketing, if you utilize Facebook Messenger, if you utilize chatbots, you will stand out as part of the crowd, right? You're like apart from the crowd. You will immediately be one of the only ones in your industry utilizing this form of messenger, utilizing this form of marketing. And what that does is that allows you to be unique. Like, this is the one time where just by doing this, it makes us unique. Not to mention that the results are better, right? Like I was sharing with someone, I've had 10% click-through rates on one of my most recent messenger marketing campaigns. 10% click-through rates, not 1%, not 0.1, 10% click-through rates, right? So when we talk about these things, it just makes our campaigns so much better. Our funnels are so much more efficient. They convert so much better because you're delivering them through Messenger. So once again, if you guys, I'm curious, I want to make this more relevant for you guys. Throw down your industry, right? I know that a lot of people don't like to share their niche. So if you're just in marketing services or an agency, something like that, just let me know you're a digital agency, and that you have services. Or if you're in copywriting, or if you're in whatever it is, let me know. If you're a real estate agent, whatever it is, let me know, because I want to make this really, really relevant for you guys too. So let me know what kind of industry you're in, and we can talk about that. All right. Here's what we're going to get into, guys. I mean, it's going to be a juicy kind of, it's definitely going to be a juicy trading for sure. And I'll share with you, let's see here. I'll let you guys see me because I'm here. I'm sitting here. I'm a real person, I promise. I want to go over really how to get it. So here it breaks down to a few things. The first thing is your knowledge, right? You got to know not only what chatbots can do, because a lot of people, they go, well, how would chatbots work for this industry? And I'm like, okay, it would do this, 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 and this, and this. But then the second thing is you have to know how to sell it to businesses as well, because a lot of people, it's too forward, and you have to do it the right way. So we're going to get into what some of this stuff is, as well. The second thing that you have to know is you have to know about how it pertains to your niche. And we'll talk about like every sales pitch, every industry is looking for something a little bit different. And so what that means is that you're going to have to pitch the chatbot. You're going to have to pitch the messenger marketing a little bit differently as well. And then we can talk about how to actually get chatbot clients and some things that are actually working for me in our agency and actually generating clients for us. So we'll talk about all that stuff, and we'll get into it. So cool. So it looks like we've got a couple of industries here. We got some digital services. It looks like we got the Facebook agency, freelancer, selling products, lead gen, bots. Okay, cool. So lots of different stuff. So let's kind of get into, what it is. And I'll share with you a couple of things. The first is I mentioned a lot about how chatbots right now, there is this, there's this moment right now where there's this gold rush that's going on, right? A lot of people see this craze that's happening in crypto, and I love it because there's a lot of money that's being made every single day, and it's real money, you know what I mean? But the second thing is that it's not really that controllable, or at least there's a lot less control than if you're marketing something. And what I love about chatbots is that it's this open playing field. It's this wide open playground where there is money to be made. There are clients to be gained. There is audiences to be built. There's brands brands to be built. There's communities to be built. There's impact to be had because you simply utilize it, right? Think about if you were one of the first people, like, I'm a big Gary Vee fan, and he always talks about, being one of the first people on Google AdWords. He talks about being one of the first people on email. He talks about being one of the first people, he was on email and he was having 90% open rates back in, 2000 and whatever. Well, guys, that's what's happening again in Messenger. And it's like everybody is on Messenger because Facebook will hound you until you download it. So the point is that there is this moment right now where if you act like right now, and I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how long this gold rush is going to happen because people are adopting it pretty quickly. And I'll share with you that it makes sense. Like the reason it's happening so quickly is because not only does it make a lot of sense for people to adopt it, right? The technology is good. The numbers are good. The efficient, like it's effective as shit. It's efficient as shit. Like it's the best. Like it is the best platform. Like it's so much better than email. It's so much better than a website. It's so much better than it is so much better than it. But then what's also great about it is there's people like you guys who are on this live call and on this live training who can also make a lot of money off of it. There's also a lot of opportunity for you guys who are selling bots and who are selling services to go out there and make a lot of money for yourselves as well. So that's why this window is going to close so quickly, because everybody is going to start adopting it, because either they like, oh my goodness, I need this, so I'm going to start looking for a bot developer, or there's a lot of bot developers who are going to start coming out of the woodworks because they see all the money that's available. It's so funny that I see people who buy my course and then they go out and start their own chatbot course because they see how lucrative it is. And it's like, I never got into chatbots because it was lucrative. I got into it because there was no chatbot courses around. There was no one teaching this stuff. No one was talking about how to utilize this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this is like killing it for my business. This is killing it for my clients. This is actually absolutely crushing. I would be doing a disservice to these people if I didn't create something for them in some way for them to be able to learn this stuff at a deeper level as well. So hopefully that kind of gives you, just I guess at least get you fired up about why this stuff is important to learn and why it matters today. So hopefully you guys are still here. Francesco, Darren, Josie. Is it Josie or Jose? Let me know. Jahan, what's going on? Rahul. I haven't said hi to you guys. Sunny. All of you guys on the live Zoom call. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate you guys being here, and more than anything, your time and your attention this Wednesday is powerful. So let's get into it. Josie is short for Jocelyn. All right, awesome. Okay, well, welcome to the training, guys. If this is your first training, I go on some rants, and we go, where it's already 15 minutes in, and hopefully you've got some value out of this. We'll probably be here for another, 35 minutes or so, and then, we'll have some time for questions and answers as well. But I just appreciate you guys being on more than anything. But let's dive into the material, and I'll share with you really quickly why this was important for me. And it was really, I mentioned a little bit about how I started getting into an agency, but it was one campaign, and we were working with a CrossFit gym, and we were helping launch and open this CrossFit gym. And for 2 weeks, we were having no results. Absolutely nothing was happening for us. It was so terrible. We were getting clicks on our ad. We made a good ad, but then once we got to the website, no one was putting in their email address. And then once we gave them that, no one was actually, opening their email and actually coming into the gym. And so we're like, we told this gym that we could do it because we read, .com secrets. Like we listened to all the podcasts. We do all, we created the funnel, and we're like, why the fuck isn't it working? And so all of a sudden I had been hearing this thing about chatbots on it. I actually heard about it on a podcast, and I was like, we got nothing to lose. Let's just try it. And I kid you not, we kept the same creative, almost the same copy. We just switched it up, and we delivered the funnel through a chatbot. And within the next 2 weeks, so at the end of that first month, not only did we catch up all of their ad spend, we ended up 10xing their total ad spend and launching their whole gym. They had people coming in. I mean, it was incredible. And we owe the lifeblood of our agency was owed to chatbots, because as we started to continue to move on and continue to get clients, it really was the thing that separated us, and it allowed us to be able to get, have such better results, right? And the thing is that there was no courses out there. There was no trainings out there at the time. I was learning on my own, and it was trial and error. And so I really want to give you guys what's the word I'm looking for? I want to help you avoid all the pitfalls. I want to help you avoid all the challenges. I want to help you avoid all the bullshit that I had to go through and all the people that I annoyed as well. So let's get into it, shall we? And let's talk about some of the knowledge that you have to know first. So When I think about this, like I've heard so many people tell me that they don't know how to get chatbot clients, right? Or that when they explain chatbots to people, that they get this like blank stare. And that's what happens when you don't actually understand at the core what a chatbot is doing. And if you just call it a chatbot, I guarantee you that you will never get a client that's outside the digital marketing space, right? If someone is very, very educated in the space and someone understands what a chatbot is, then yes, you can call it that. But if you're pitching a regular service or you're pitching a regular business and you ever call it a chatbot, you're actually going to confuse them. They're going to think that it's something that it's not. They're actually going to think that it's really impersonal. They're going to think that it's really spammy because what they typically associate with with bots or robots is something that's really weird or something that's unnatural or something that's people that they don't want. But I'll share with you that I've actually had people reach out to me and say, "I love your bot." Like I've had one. If you guys are in the digital marketing space and you guys know Ashley Sanders, Ashley Sanders is actually someone who's really, she has her own show called Who's This, and she reached out and she actually just posted on her status. She was like, Hector Santisteban's chatbot is funny as fuck or entertaining as fuck. And it was so funny because how often do people actually say that about your marketing? Like I've had so many people reach out and say like how engaging and fun and how, great their experience with the chatbot is. And the thing is that chatbot, although I love creating great experiences, I love creating an amazing feeling for people. What I'm really doing at the core is I'm selling stuff. I'm really selling, products. I'm selling services. I'm building my brand. And of course, I do it in a way that is mutually beneficial. I do it in a way that both helps you and both helps me, right? Ideally helps you more than it helps me. And that way, I can help more people and I can, so the whole point is that it's great that they're having those experiences, but what's even better is that those experiences are happening with my business's marketing. So I mean, I'm curious. Have you guys had any experiences? And now you guys might have had bad experiences with bots because there are some people who are annoying. I want to know, have you guys ever had a terrible experience with a bot? And Tia says she loves my rants. Have you guys ever had like a bad experience with a bot? And if it's with mine, please tell me. Like I'm very open to criticism. And the reason I know that is because I've actually had people tell me at the very beginning and early of my bot journey, tell me that I was bothering them. I was annoying them. I was, contacting them in the middle of the night and I was sending messages at 3 a.m. that were waking them up. And the thing is that it was turning them away. And so I very quickly learned that there are some different ways to do it, right? That if you just do it like email marketing, I remember John Alanis, right? He's a legendary internet marketer. And he's someone who used to send 3 emails a day. He used to send 3 different emails a day. You'd send one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one at night, all from like different kind of names and stuff like that. And the thing is that you could do that with an email, and you can do that in an email address because it's like, it's like if you wrote a letter to somebody and, all 3 letters would go and you can check them whenever you want. But when you're using someone on messenger marketing, you literally have like their cell phone number. It's like if you text them. And if your friend texted you like every night at 3 a.m. or your friend was like constantly texting you just random bullshit that you didn't want, you'd be like, yo, back off. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to understand that the platform is different as well. And so if you take just the same tactics that you utilize through messenger marketing and you took the same tactics that you utilized or utilize in email marketing, you use the same tactics that you utilize through direct mail, you're not necessarily going to have the most success. So Sue says she prefers bots to email. They're simple to read and eye-catching. Tia's never had a bad experience. Josie says all bots are timely. Nice. That's awesome. So what's great is that you can make those experiences great. So let's kind of talk about what I mean by this. So let's go into first the capabilities, because when I think about capabilities, I think that it's so important for people to understand really what it can do. And the easiest way that I can share it with you is it's like an IKEA versus a Walmart, right? If you guys have ever been to IKEA, like let me know if you guys have been to IKEA and if you guys love IKEA or if you hate IKEA. I'm curious. Let me know, do you like IKEA or do you hate IKEA? Because I find some people love it and I find that absolutely some people hate it. I hate it. And the reason is I hate it is because I know that when I walk through IKEA, I am going through a funnel. I know that I am getting upsold and downsold and cross-sold and wide-sold, and I know I'm getting sold on every which way because it's literally like a haunted house of furniture. Now, here's the thing. My fiance, she loves IKEA, right? Why? Because IKEA does a great job of creating this funnel. They do a great job of connecting and engaging with people. And I'm akin to that. So I know that I'm not a furniture. So my point is that you want to create your chatbot like an IKEA. And the difference is a lot of websites are like Walmart. Whereas you walk into a Walmart and you get lost. You're like, oh my goodness, where is everything? How do I find stuff? Like you really get lost. And so that's the challenge with websites, right? Is that it's just like a big like Walmart. Whereas with a chatbot, you can actually guide and lead the conversation exactly where you want them to go. And it makes it a lot easier because it's so much easier to build. It's so much quicker to build. It's so much personal. It's so much more personal. It's so much more everything, right? As well. And Tia says she likes IKEA better than Walmart. Sue's never been. Josie, it's this haunted house. It's literally a haunted house of furniture. So the reason that I say that is because ClickFunnels became really great because they were like, hey, you can create a website that is like a funnel, right? And what I want to share with you is that it's that one idea deeper where not only that, but you can actually track the entire conversation and you can actually follow up with it as if that person was an individual salesperson, right? Because I'll share with you, there's times where people go through my bot and they ask particular questions or they say different stuff. And I'll go in and respond as me and as an individual. And I've done that and I've closed sales that way. Someone asks a little question that, the bot isn't smart enough to be able to respond to. And I hop in and the bot has already done 95% of the work. So all I've got to do is go in and answer a couple of questions. And then, the deal is that much, closer to be, closed. So you want to think about your bot like an IKEA versus a Walmart, right? You want to think about like it's this really, really personalized, individualized funnel for everybody. And another way that you can think about it is it's like a website plus an autoresponder, right? If you think about everything that a website can do, a website can deliver information. A website can deliver videos. A website can deliver content. A website can deliver messages, text. It can deliver audio. It can deliver all these different things, pictures, all these things, right? But then a lot of times you need the autoresponder because you need it to be able to follow up, right? You're like, all right, you landed on my website. I want to be able to follow up with you later. Well, now a chatbot is all in one. And what's great about it is that as soon as they click onto your quote unquote website, they get subscribed to your bot. I was chatting with an entrepreneur, Dane Schwabe, at our Influencer Summit this past weekend. And it was interesting because we were going over chatbots, and he runs Facebook ads, and he runs the normal funnel, and he creates a landing page, and he creates, and he asks for emails, and, in certain industries, you ask for phone numbers and stuff like that. And if you think about what it takes in order for someone to subscribe, in order for you to be able to follow up with them, sometimes they have to hit 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 buttons. If you think about how many questions you're asking them, yeah, they have to hit a lot of buttons. When you run an ad, right? When you run an ad, a messenger campaign, okay? What I do is I run a messenger campaign and I run a click to messenger. And so I don't do a JSON or anything like that. All I do is I just run directly a messenger click to messenger campaign. And what they do is they literally have to click 2 times. That's it. They click once on the ad, they click once more on the quick reply, and they are subscribed to my chatbot. And it is that easy for you to be able to get someone subscribed and able to follow up with them. I'm working with a real estate agent right now, and it's kind of unfortunate. And I'll share with you this. They're kind of upset because they're like, oh, we don't have any phone numbers to call, right? We only have a few, because we've had hundreds of people go through the bot. And the thing is that those hundreds of people are going through the sequence, right? They're going through the funnel. And so this bot is qualifying people, right, that would otherwise just have landed on our website and gone away. But instead, we're actually able to follow up with them, and we're actually able to find out if they're actually someone who is interested in buying or selling a home. And so by doing this, you're able to essentially capture all of the people who land on your website, your quote-unquote website, as a subscriber. So does that make sense? Does anybody get the power out of it? And Darren says, why not JSON ads? and it's just not worth it. JSON ads actually limit the amount of, with JSON ads, you can't use any text, you can't use, or you can't use any personalized text. I don't think you can use any video. You're limited to like 100 characters. You can't use any pictures. You also are bidding in a place in the news feed that's so much more expensive. Right now, nobody's running messenger campaigns. So literally the CPMs are astronomical, and that's why we're having 10% click-through rates, because I'm not competing with all of the other traffic people and all the other people who are wanting me to click. I'm only competing right now with people who are running messenger campaigns. And so in addition to the increased personalization that Facebook allows you to use with the messenger campaigns, where you can actually use their first name, you can use a picture, you can use a video if you want, but it also allows you to be able to, you're bidding in a world that's just so much cheaper because there's just not a lot of people bidding there. So hopefully that helps for you. So Darren says limitations are nuts. Yeah, so boom, hopefully that was worth the price of this training, my man. I wanted to get into that kind of question for you because I know you asked that. We had some people ask questions, guys. So if you have questions, we're going to try and get to those over there. But Darren, I wanted to cover that for you because I know you asked that a little earlier as well. So hopefully that helped. Cool. Messenger campaigns are literally the best, okay? So let's see, what else can it do? Now, chatbots can also, they can collect information, right? So a lot of people, they go, well, I want their phone number, I want their email. Yes, you can ask for whatever information that you want, right? For our, we ran a medical massage campaign recently, and we literally asked them, have you ever had a medical massage before? So that way, when the business owner got the lead, it actually came through and it said, no, I've never had a medical massage before, or yes, I've had a medical massage before. That way they can know how to pick up the conversation. That way they can know how to start the sales conversation, right? They already have this relevant information. For our real estate agents, we ask what kind of home they're looking for. We ask them for their phone number. We ask them for their email. We ask them when are they available to talk, right? There's all these different questions that you can ask them. Just it's really fully customizable, right? And the nice thing is that you can get that information and you can send it off in an email, or you can put it into a Google Sheet, and you can do all of this automatically through Zapier. If you have clients who sell stuff online and they want to process payments right there through the messenger, what's great about it is it's coming where you're going to be able to do it right through the chatbot. It's going to be great where Stripe and ManyChat are going to integrate together. Chatfuel already integrates with or with Stripe, so it's amazing. But what I do right now, because I have a lot of my bots on ManyChat, is I'll just host a landing page right in a button. And I'll host a sales page, right in a button. So I'll give you a little tip, okay? In about 20 minutes, you guys are going to get a message that says, hey, if you guys want full access to all of our content, if you guys want the replay to all this stuff, if you want all the bonuses, click here. And you'll see that it'll show you how you can take payments and how you can process stuff right there through the chatbot. So you can process payments. And then if you want to get really technical, if you're smart enough, and you're way smarter than me and you can code a lot of stuff, you can access other servers, and you can have it talk to other servers, and you can have it talk to other, you basically can build your heart's desire, right? Because of all of the possibilities that are now possible. All right. Dana says the data gets stored right now in ManyChat, or it gets stored in Chatfuel, and basically it gets attached to, it's attached to the customer, right? Or it's attached to the user. And so basically, like, every user has a certain amount, like a payload that comes along with it, right? And so that payload is your messenger ID, your first name, your last name, your language, like your profile picture URL, so they can see, like it has this payload that comes along with it. And so what it does is just adds it to the payload, so that way, if it wants to send off, okay, has this person had a massage? What area are they interested in moving in? What's their phone number? That it's just it goes along in this payload. Josie says, can you still do a lot with free with the ManyChat plan? Yes, you can still do a lot free. And it's very similar to the ClickFunnels contacts page. Yes, exactly. Very, very, very similar. You're absolutely correct. Okay. So does that help? I guess one last thing that I'll talk about here is platforms. There's two big ones that I recommend, okay? There's two big ones that I recommend. First is Chatfuel, and the second one is ManyChat. And people always ask me, what is which one is the best one? And there is no best one. There is just a one that's right for you. And the reality is that ManyChat is much simpler, and ManyChat is a little more affordable when you scale, right? And ManyChat is a little more intuitive. I would liken ManyChat is like the MailChimp of ManyChat is like the MailChimp of what's the word I'm looking for? Of chatbots, right? Super easy, super simple. However, I want to caution that because MailChimp had a lot of limitations on it. It's like if ManyChat stole all of the digital marketers' tactics, right? And it's like as powerful as Infusionsoft. That's a really great way to put it. It's as simple as MailChimp, but it's as powerful as Infusionsoft in all of the things that you're able to do and all of the sequences and all of the segmenting and all of the targeting. So that's what I would say about ManyChat. Chatfuel is a marketer and programmer's paradise, right? Chatfuel is a marketer and programmer's paradise because it allows you to do all of the amazing things that you can do with chatbots and it'll do with marketing, but it allows you to basically code whatever you're smart enough to code. It allows you to have open JSON coding. It allows you to integrate Dialogflow, which is Google's version of AI. It allows you to basically program anything that you wanted to if you're smart enough to do it. So it's really just which one is best for you. And for people who are starting out and a lot of internet marketers who are going to be selling stuff, I think that ManyChat is the best one. But what I've found is that I build a lot of my clients on Chatfuel because Chatfuel actually makes it easier to duplicate entire bots. It actually makes it easier to clone entire bots so that I can create a template, right? So for those of you guys who are on here, if you guys stick on, and you have to be on the Zoom. So if you're somehow catching this on the Facebook and you're not on the Zoom call, you have to be on the Zoom. But if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you a free real estate Chatfuel template that Chatfuel has a free, they're free. They basically are free too. They have a free power, their free account is very, very powerful. But I can give you a template that you'll be able to go in and you'll just go in and you'll duplicate it and then you can go in and update it and change whatever you want with it. And so it makes it really easy to do things like that and clone different projects. So that's why I like using both as well. So Jahan says that he builds everything. And Jahan, dude, I want to thank you for being on, man. You are a pretty experienced bot developer. And so you might be able to add a lot of insight and add a lot of wisdom here. But yes, Chatfuel is great to be able to, if you can hang, Chatfuel's powerful. All right, let's keep moving. I've talked a lot about this stuff, so I'm going to quickly go over niche, right? I'm going to quickly go over niche because the reality is every niche is open, right? Every niche is open. And I'll share this last tip with you over here, right? Is there a tip right there? Can you see the tip? The tip is never call it a chatbot, right? And I talked about that. I think I talked about that earlier, but really never call it a chatbot. It makes it so much more difficult for you to be able to sell. And I talk a little bit about that in my course, and that's actually, we have a full thing on how to sell chatbots, simple, right? There's a simple 6-step process to it, but just the big tip is don't use chatbots, right? You want to sell it simply. I call it a automated sales machine, right? Or automated sales and marketing software, not machine, automated sales and marketing software, right? That's just put on your Facebook page, right? I call it a answering machine for your business page. I call it a 1-800 number for your business page. I call it a virtual assistant for your business page. I call it a lead qualifier for your business page, right? That's all I call it. I call it those things. I don't call it a chatbot because that scares them. So hopefully that helps you, Josie. So when we talk about niches, right, every niche is open, right? So when I think about restaurants need people coming in on their slow days. So what if you can send out, right, a little broadcast to everyone on your bot on Tuesdays on your slow days that says, hey, if you come in today, just mention the word, green tacos and we'll give you, a free taco with any of your meals, right? So like people, they always need that, right? Customer feedback. Hey, how is your pizza? great. Was it hot? Was it cold? How was the service? Okay, cool. Thanks so much. On your next one, here's a, free, dessert, for your next order, right? So many things like that. Retail is so powerful, right? Because what's great about retail is that you can actually track the individual sales conversation. So you can trigger individual follow-ups based on the individual products that they clicked. And you can actually, tell the bot whether or not they've bought, whether or not they've purchased or not, or you can just ask them, did you buy it? That way you can follow up right from the individual bot, right? That way you can follow up. There's, there's no like retargeting ad. It's just literally you're just following up with them. You're sending them a message and saying, hey, do you want to buy this again, right? You can dress it up a little bit more. But all of that to say that that's something that you can do. What else? Let's see what else is on here. Healthcare. I think about healthcare is amazing because healthcare, what I find a big challenge with healthcare is that information is really, really important, but their ability to communicate with their patients is almost non-existent, right? And so maybe you can use apps and things like that, but apps are very impersonal. And so now what you can do is you can actually create an opportunity for that physician, for that person to follow up with follow up with their patient and say, hey, here's some, here's a little exercise that might help you with this. Hey, did you take your prescription? Are you having any side effects? Yes or no? All of this is automated so that way, when they come back into the office the next time, they have all this data already so they can actually get it in real time, right? What else? Public service. Oh my goodness, right? Like I think about like my phone gets these Amber Alerts and it's like, I think it's great, like a great idea to be honest, but sometimes it's not in the best, it's not done the best way because my phone starts freaking out in the middle of the night, right? But like the ability to communicate things, or whether it's public service events or civic events or natural disasters or whatever it is, right? Like the ability to communicate these things are so, so important. And so even public service people, politicians, those people, like imagine if your politician had a chatbot that you could send a message and that you could submit your questions and that he could, reach out and say, hey, make sure to go vote for me, or hey, we're doing this other fundraiser that's going to make me look really good. And like whatever it is, right? There's like the possibilities are endless. Sue says, someone with limited digital knowledge build a chatbot? Absolutely, right? On ManyChat is absolutely, that's what, the first module of my course is really teaching people just how to build a chatbot for themselves because it is simple. It's more simple than it looks. Sue, I think you're on my bot, and all I do, I think that you're, Tina, you would probably, she's someone who actually has learned webinar, software and stuff, but she's someone who loves chatbots as well because of how simple they are to actually build. They're actually much simpler than email marketing. They're much simpler than creating a website. So it's just awesome in that regard as well. One thing that I know someone wanted to get into was pricing. So let's talk about that because I'm going to pull up an old PowerPoint that I had here because I believe I had I want to show you two things actually. The first thing I want to show you, is I want to show you a post that is almost like guaranteed to get you a client, right? So I'll share a story with you. I knew that I was going to host a training like this a while back. And so I posted this post on the left there and I said, hey, who wants a free sales automation software installed on their business page, right? That's the chatbot. Now, I got a bunch of comments. I got a bunch of people interested. So I knew that it worked. And the thing is, people go, well, how is it free? And the thing is, you just connect their account. And you go, okay, cool. It's all hooked up. So anybody who messages you, they'll automatically be subscribed to your list and you can message them at any time. And then it's already hooked up. And that takes you literally 10 minutes, right? It takes you 10 minutes of your time. And that you could use that one of two ways. That could be your intro to be like, hey, but I also can show you how to utilize these. I can also do all this and yada, 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 right? But it's a perfect way. It's a perfect intro to being able to pitch these things. And it's a free thing that you can do that even if they don't buy your, it's a very easy value add for them, right? Now here's the better part about it. So then I saw someone, right? I saw Jamie on the bottom here who actually has his own chatbot course, which is funny. But he posted this thing and he says, hey, can I install a sales automation software at a token, right? For a fee. He amped it up. He said, I want to charge you, right? And he had a bunch of comments. He had like, he landed a client off of this. And he actually messaged me and reached out to me and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that like I saw that and I copied it and it worked. And I think a lot of people would have gotten upset and been like, oh, like how could you, steal my work, yada, yada. I was super stoked because I knew that it worked. Like, and that was exactly why I posted it there, because I can get chatbot clients. I don't need a status to get me chatbot clients. But if you're starting out and this is your first thing and you don't have, a bunch of people who follow you about chatbots, here's a very helpful way to do it. And so what we did is with my business partner, I told him we're in real estate. And so they don't actually do sales through their business page, right? So sales, real estate's it's a very weird kind of sales process. But anyways, what they need lead qualifiers. They actually pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month for people to call all their leads that they pay hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to be able to get. So the great thing is that this system is a free system that's a lead qualifier. And so we actually got quite a few chatbot clients and we built, just chatbots for them. It was great about it. All I had to do was update my template and click over a couple of things and bada boom, bada bam. So this works out this way. So Josie says that she's on Instagram more than Facebook. Do you think it can be done same on Instagram? Yep. The thing is that it's just a link, right? It's just a link. And as long as people have Facebook Messenger, it'll actually take them over to, when they click the link in your bio, if you put your chatbot link in your bio, when they click it, it'll just take them over to Messenger. So it actually works out now. I believe they fixed it, which is kind of nice. So a lot of stuff for that. John says, how much is my course? And I always say $1 million. No, I'm just kidding. Stick around to the end. And if you guys, care enough, I could talk about that. Because Sales 101, never give a price without value. But so Ryan says, can you make the bot speak? I want the bot replies to play a voice reply. Yeah, you can actually program videos, right? Like, so what I've done is I've actually created a sales sequence that was of pre-recorded videos, right? That actually every time they hit the button, it was like a choose your own adventure story. So that way, when they hit the button, it gave them like another 5 to 10 second clip it of like what happened. And so there's lots of cool ways that you can do this stuff as well. Oh, dude, John, how did you end up on here? Yeah, dude, you are a gangster. I didn't realize that was you. I didn't see your last name. Yeah, we've got some bot. I know Al, and Al's in our course, so he hops on our calls, which is awesome. So we have some heavy hitters in our course, and there's a live component too. So people always get to hop on and talk with other bot builders too. So let's talk about prices, right? And now this is not by any means gospel, okay? I want to say that right now, okay? This is by no means gospel. What I do want to share with you is a starting point for you to be able to really is a starting point for you to be able to get kicked off, right? And for you to be able to get started, okay? Fucking starting point. You know what that means, okay? All right. Because people go, oh my goodness, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. You could charge whatever you want. I guess I should say that by, I guess I should say that to, because, let's see, can you guys see? I want to make sure that you guys can see me correctly. You guys, boom. All right, stellar. So, let me make me a little bit smaller. Sorry, I'm having some technical stuff. Boom, that's what I want. All right, and I stated at the beginning of this training that there was going to be somebody who sells a $10,000 bot. There's going to be someone who sells a $100,000 bot. There's going to be someone who goes out there and pushes past all these boundaries, right? And so I say that because I think that that's really important for you guys just to know before we kind of get into these prices. But once again, these are starting places, okay? So at the very beginning, a basic bot, right, can be built, I want to share with you, in like 45 minutes, right? A bot can be built within for like literally half hour. A bot can be set up with a basic sequence and a basic follow-up. If you know what you're going to do, it can be built in like 30 minutes. And so you can charge anywhere between $100 and $1,000. I mean, I've had people go, oh, I'll charge less. I'll do it for 25 minutes. Like, for sure you could. But the thing is that that's what it's worth. That's what businesses would be willing to pay for what that service would that's like a no-brainer type thing, right? That you could make, and I want to put it at that low end, because at that point you could build very profitable, a scalable business. I have, someone in our course who actually does it to kind of retail, home services, and restaurants, and he offers a very, very low entry rate. But he actually has them on a monthly continuity program. And so he makes his money in the long term because they stick around, and he's able to really build a large scalable, he's able to get a lot more clients because he has a very basic setup for what he offers. Now, if you want to offer something a little bit more intense, if you want to offer something a little bit better, right, in terms of its functionality, in terms of what it can do, well, maybe you want to offer some coding, or you want to offer an intermediate one with it, which isn't going to require any coding, but will usually require you to integrate it with a website. Will usually require you to integrate it with a Zapier or other types of stuff. So this is great in that regard, because once again, it's very, very profitable. The margins are all there. Like, it doesn't cost any money to be able to build these bots. And so all of it is profit for you, right? And you can do it on a one-time setup fee, or you can do it on on a continuity basis. It's depending on whatever you want to do. Now, if you're getting into the advanced section, right? If you're getting into advanced, you're probably talking somewhere in the 3,000 to 10,000. And what I would encourage you to incorporate into these are probable coding, right? You might want to incorporate dialogue flow. You might want to make sure that they're connected with their other systems, because that kind of price tag is going to warrant something that I think, the bot could and should deliver. And so by doing this, I really want to help set the precedent for the bot development community that, yes, we could charge really whatever we want, but by doing these, it creates a standard, right, for us to be able to know that, this is what, like that way everybody can make more money, right? And collectively we can go up, because as softwares get better, as our abilities get better, as we are able to find more people who can code this stuff and find more people who are able to do this, well, then now we can start offering more premium bots, right? And bots, once again, very quickly are going to get to that level of the app, right? Like, if you guys were here at the beginning of the training, think about this. I mentioned that the typical app, right, costs tens and if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to be developed. And so what that means is that bot developers, we're going that way too. But with an app, it just sits there. An app doesn't market itself. An app doesn't follow up with people. An app just sits there, right? So for you, what's great about it is that we can now leverage what they have done in the app development community and say, hey, they're charging that much over there for this kind of stuff, but we know how to sell shit. We know how to make stuff move. We know how to actually get people to engage. If you just pay them for an app, well, then it's just going to sit on the shelf, but we can actually get people on your app. And so hopefully this helped. Some of you guys just got a message, and you guys can check that later. And if you guys have questions about the course, that's where the info is, because I had a auto webinar triggered. So hopefully that helps you. And I wanted to talk a little bit about pricing there as well. So there's so many different ways that you can do it, right? Kevin says that you can pair bots with ads. And the beautiful thing about it, though, is if you don't want to do Facebook ads, you don't have to pair your bot services with ads. If they already have a physical location, they already have quote unquote traffic, right? That's where the word traffic came from. So they can actually build their bot by the physical traffic that they come in. So restaurants, if they want to build their bot list, they don't actually have to run ads to their bot. They can actually just put a QR code or a link, or a messenger code, or a link on their packaging, right, or on their wherever it is that they have. You can create a little note card or whatever, some sort of promo thing, and they can build their bot list that way. So they don't have to run Facebook ads to be able to get bots to it as well. Bot plus arbitrage, right? John says, the great thing is that if you have a blog that gets traffic, you can now create even more from that traffic with a bot. right? If you have a vlog, right, a video, if you have a YouTube channel, right, now you can connect your bot. You just put your link, and it's a link in the description, and when they click it, they'll automatically subscribe to your bot. If you have an Instagram page, well, all of a sudden, you don't need to send them to a website anymore. You just put your bot link in your profile, and all of a sudden, people click, and they'll automatically subscribe to it. So it's really, really great in its in its ability to connect with all these other different services as well. Phil says he's killing it with bots for restaurants, hugely successful. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's hop back and let's wrap up here because we're already almost at the hour mark, guys. So I wanted to give some time for you guys to be able to ask any questions, and I want to be able to, if you guys are not on the live call, okay, or excuse me, on the Zoom, and you're watching this somehow on the Facebook, I would go out and get on the live call on the Zoom, because that's where I'm going to give away my real estate chatbot template. So if you guys stick around for a little bit, then everybody who I'm going to ask you to drop your email in the chat, and don't do it yet. Okay, don't do it yet, but that's what's going to happen in a little bit. But I'm going to ask you to do that, so that way my assistant can send you the links. I appreciate you saying that, John. I really, really do, man. I know people speak very highly, definitely on this call, but I've definitely kind of watched from afar the work that you've been doing, John. So I appreciate that. Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay, now let's talk about client acquisition, okay? Because we've talked about this a little bit. Now let's talk about client acquisition. I think that there's not a lot of good, there's just not a lot of good content out there. And I've been fortunate enough to get clients all different which ways. I came up in direct sales, so I was someone that when I very first started getting clients, I just reached out to them, I messaged them, I was like, yo, let's get on a phone. I'm gonna sell you my shit. I don't even have a website. You just pay me through pay. It literally was the most old school way ever. I've had people buy through landing pages. I've had people buy through sales pages. I've done, I've had people buy on webinars. I've literally done it all. And I've found that the great thing is that chatbots can be applied to all these different kinds of things. So the tip that I want to give you back to our niche, okay, the tip that I'll give you is create a demo bot. And create a demo bot. And what that means is that you want to get your niche, you want to get your potential clients onto a bot that they can experience what it would be like for their clients, right? You can't really do that with a Facebook ad. I mean, you can, and you can show them what a Facebook ad would look like, but for some reason that's just not as compelling as if they actually play with a bot that would be similar to their industry, and they're like, whoa, okay, I get it, right? They've experienced it. It helps them to sink in so much deeper. So whatever niche you're in, build a demo bot and just connect it to some websites, do some web views. You don't have to go all complicated with it. You want to do some basic stuff. So that way when someone goes, just send me more info, you're like, all right, cool. Here's this link. You send them that link, it subscribes them, they play with it. Then a day later, a half hour later, whenever it is, you follow up and you go, hey, first name. Thanks for, taking the time to, play with the bot. Did you have any questions about how this would work for your business, right? See if they have any questions. Or you can go, boom, you go straight for the kill. You go, hey, do you want us to do this for your business? How would you like us to do this, right? But the point is that now when they say, oh, hey, send me info, well, you send them a link to your bot, and now they're subscribed, and now you can follow up, and you can do it through, manually through your broadcast, you just kind of manually go in there and follow up with the people, or you can create a sequence that's going to automatically, every time someone subscribes, that's going to go through and generate more clients for you, right? So that's the great thing about chatbots, is that they actually allow you to be able to do all of it. Boom. All right. I love it. This is what happens when you have experts on your trainings, is that you get them answering the questions. Thank you so much for answering that as well. Yeah, Zapier is a godsend when it comes to chatbots. So I'm curious, how do you guys do it? Because what we have done is all different ways. We've actually sold services through webinars. We get people like this onto a webinar, and those of you guys, I know someone asked about auto webinars. What you can do is you can just run ads to it. You have them click through a link or whatever it is, and you can say, hey, do you want to watch the replay? The replay is going to get started. Are you ready now? Or do you want us to send you the video in 5 minutes? And give them an option. And they're like, I'm ready now. and they're like, okay, boom, then you let them watch the video now. Or if they say, oh, I want to send it in 5 minutes, well, then you put them into a sequence and a follow-up sequence. Then in 5 minutes is, okay, boom, did you have your pen and your notebook? Are you ready to go? The training's about to start. They only have to hit yes to be able to get the video. They go hit yes, boom, all right, I'm ready, I'm sitting in front of, right? So the cool thing is that a lot of people, they delivered automated webinars and delivered those things like through landing pages, and they delivered it through, you know, email and stuff, but now it can be done right through chatbots. So it's awesome. Okay, so data collecting. Yeah, I am in the US and we're very lenient. It's going to be interesting what happens. I'm keeping an eye on that because I know that is super important, and I know that frankly most of the chatbot developers are actually out in Europe, so hopefully they are a little closer to the situation and they have a way to be able to work around that. But you're absolutely right, that's something to keep into mind as well. Yes, a lot of my course, and we can share about, kind of go into what it actually talks about later, goes into how to market the stuff, because how to sell bots is it's just different. You know what I mean? It's just different is really what it is. So let's see, what else do I have on here? I had some notes that I wanted to make sure that we got on here. Okay, so first thing is get case study, right? And a lot of you guys know this. Get a case study, show a case study. After you got a demo bot, deliver the case study through the demo bot. Say, hey, here's how we got this, right? Recently, with one of our real estate agents, we got them 588 leads. We converted those into 35 interested people, right? So 588 subscribers, 35 interested people for less than $390. And so that was just a kind of a case study that we sent out to them, right? But you can do that through it. You can have that prompt a sales call. You can have that prompt them to register for a webinar, all that kind of stuff, all right? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. So Josie says, any advice on how you create conversation flow for different businesses? I'm struggling with this. Well, Josie, I think that's a great question. And on one of our last live calls that we did for our group, because we have, you know, chatbots are always changing. They're always coming out with new features. Things are always happening, you know, in the industry that are new. And so we have a live weekly call. And one of the things that we talked about was just the difference in how you communicate. And I talked a little bit about it earlier, but I would share with you to just treat it like a text message conversation, not like an email, right? An email is like if you're writing someone a letter, and it's like you have this opportunity to write them a letter, and then they read it, and then they have this opportunity to respond. Whereas a text message is much more back and forth. It's much more engaging. And so that's the way that I think about any conversation, is making sure that it's you know, a lot more engaging. Okay, cool. So we talked about how much to charge. We talked a little about webinars. Did we talk enough about getting leads for digital agencies? So now you can run ads, right, to people in your niche and just have them say, hey, want a better experience? Want more customer reviews? Want more customers? Want more whatever? Click here to see what it's like, you know, the new technology. And you just have them, boom, you link it up to your bot. You have them play with your bot. You follow up with the ones that are interested. Bada boom, bada bam. I mean, it's so easy, right? It's just like, it's so easy. Because you do that, right? So here's another way. You know, we actually have found that in our space, the Facebook ads are actually pretty crowded, and it's just not as like John said, the arbitrage isn't there. So what we've been doing is we've been scraping emails, right, off of Yahoo Local. And so we've been scraping emails off of Yahoo Local, and we've been putting those into email sequences. And then we send those email sequences, we send them, you know, it's a cold email, and we have them, the ones that are interested, we have them check out the bot, right? And we basically drive traffic to the bot that way. What else? I mean, you know, I've had people, you know, for leads, for like if you're doing in-person networking events, you can do I don't have it around. You can create a messenger code. Every business has its own messenger code. Every business page has its own messenger code, which is like a QR code for Messenger. So you can actually, if you're in-person networking, you can put those on, you know, on little business cards that people can scan. I mean, lots of different ways that you can drive people to your stuff. John says can automate it. I know that there's a lot of people who can automate it. I actually have it automated right now because it's my partner who does it. So we'll have to reach out to him. All right, guys. So did that answer your questions? Was this valuable? So Jahan says cold email documentation this time ago. Sure. Yeah, Jahan, you can drop that link. That would be great. All right, cool, guys. Was this valuable? Raul says yes. Jahan says yes. Jess says yes. Tons of value. All right, so guys, if you're catching this on the on Facebook, you are shit out of luck because I want to give free stuff to anybody who's on the live call. So hop onto the Zoom. I believe the link's in the description. But what I would like you guys to do is if you guys are still here live, please drop your I guess your name and your email would be great, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to export the chat to my assistant, and then she's actually going to send you all of the she's actually going to send you a real estate chatbot template. So please, if you guys can drop your information there so I can send you all of the stuff that I promised you, that would be great. So just name and email would be awesome. Name and email. And cool. So let's review what we talked about today. Holy shit, we've been here for an hour. I try to keep these short. But I can talk for days on this stuff. So we talked about having specific knowledge, right? We talked about even knowing that these things are much more powerful than even maybe you and I realize. And what that does is that allows us to warrant a higher ticket. That allows us to charge much more because it's now the developers and the marketers are meeting, right? And the great thing is that developers and really, really smart coders, they don't know how to sell shit. And so when you are able to bring them business because you know how to market and you know how to sell shit, oh my goodness, they love you, right? So you're able to arbitrage their skills because they don't know how to market themselves. Whereas you're the marketer, you're the business owner, you know how to go out and get the business. So knowing how to do that and then knowing how to sell it, right? Knowing all of its capabilities, but then we talked about the simple selling process, not using chatbots, calling it a sales automation software, calling it a lead qualification system, right? Calling it whatever they need. We talked about all the niches, right? We talked about all the niches that you can go into. There's basically any niche is wide open. Every niche is wide open, but it's only there for a little bit of time. But it can literally help every single niche. I have yet to find a business. A lot of people go, well, I'm B2B, whatever. The great thing is that for a lot of these corporations, internal communication is just as important, right? So a lot of these things don't have to just stop at the marketing. They actually can act as customer service. They can actually act as human resource. They can act as all these different things. Really, your mind is the limitation onto which they're capable of. And then we talked about how to acquire at least these people. You want to create a demo bot and you want to drive people to it, whether that's through Facebook ads, whether that's through your Instagram and putting it in your link, whether that's every chatbot has just a link. It's m.me/ and then whatever your page is. And so you can just send that link to people in Facebook Messenger. You can just send that link to email. You literally can write that link on your forehead and you can walk around and people can type that in. It's so much. They're so easy, and all the ways that you could do it before are now possible. So throw your email down there. We're going to be giving you guys a real estate bot template, a Chatful real estate template. I'm going to have one of my assistants go through all the emails that are put into the chat there, and we're going to send that out. And the reality, guys, though, is that we can't cover everything. I know there was a lot of questions that you guys wanted to get into. I'm sorry if you guys I'm sorry if we didn't get into all of your specific questions or we didn't go into it in as much detail as you want. One of the reasons that I created the course was because there wasn't a lot of info out there, that there wasn't a lot of this information out there. And so I really wanted to make it so that you guys could have this information and learn from some of my mistakes. So if you guys are still interested, I know there was a few people who asked about earlier. If you guys are still interested, I can go over a little bit about what comes in the course, because it's more than just videos. It's more than just content. It's more than just than just a bunch of information. We really try and create an experience and a community where you can really thrive. So, Jahan, you're welcome, my man. Other than that, if you guys are not interested in the course, then you guys feel free to take off. Does anybody want me to go into what the course entails and kind of what it covers? Because I know there was a few questions there, and there's a link in your messenger that was already sent out about 10 minutes ago, or maybe 15 minutes ago. but I can go over the details of exactly what it is if you guys want. So if you guys, anybody's still there, make sure you drop your email down there so I can get all of your links and your templates out there. And then if anybody wants me to go into the course information, I can go into that as well. So you're welcome, Tia. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm curious what was helpful. Let me know, if any of this made, what was particularly helpful. And if there's anything that, maybe we could go into more detail, on the next training or something like that. Lots of, I'll share with you that when people, have a lot of questions, we just put those questions into the course. So it's a very fluid course as well. That always is, it's always in flux. They come out with a new feature and we create a new video. So a lot of this stuff helps me to inform what I should share with my students as well. Cool. All right, guys. Well, you guys are awesome. If anybody wants to stick around, I can walk through the course and I can walk through what you guys are, what you guys get into it, because there's a couple of bonuses and there's a few spots that are available as well. But other than that, if you guys share this, if you guys see this on my profile and share this out with you or make a post about what you learned, that always helps. Kenneth says he'll stick around. Okay. With the clients. Cool. All right, Ken, I'll go into the just a little bit about for you. Phil says he'll stay. Okay. So I'll share with you guys kind of what's included, because the reality is that we can't go into everything in a 1 hour, 1 hour period. So I don't have 17 spots. When I made this old slide, I had 17 spots, but I actually have 12 spots that are left now. So there's actually less. So I think there's only 19 people on. I don't know if anybody's still here. Well, I know that a few people are still here, but I don't know if all of you guys are still here, but I only have 12 spots. So even if everybody wants to get in, I only have 12 at the time. There was like 17 because I found this cool picture. But we have a course. So I'll open that up really quick and I'll show actually what's in the course, because a lot of people ask, like, a lot of people are brand new, and that's totally okay. I get that. Because this is so new, right? I mean, the technology, Facebook opened up like the API at the beginning of like last year, basically. I think they opened up a little before that. They opened up the API, but it got popular at the beginning of last year. They didn't really tell anybody about it until March. And so, all of this stuff is so new, but the thing is that everybody is going to need this information in a few years. Just like every business and every marketer actually, needs to know how to do email marketing. Every marketer is going to need to know how to do messenger marketing in a few years. So it's just a matter of whether or not you are going to actually get in now, is really what it comes down to. So I'm pulling up the course here. Let me see if it'll come up, because no, that's not it. That's the one I want. And I try and make it as, really add in as whatever it is. So I host on ClickFunnels. Those guys are ClickFunnels people. You guys can see the course is actually hosted around ClickFunnels. You pay for it through ClickFunnels, all that whole thing. So there's a bunch of stuff that you're going to get, but it's going to start off with the course here, right? And I think you guys can see that. Cool. So the first thing that we walk through is just getting set up on ManyChat. So that's the first thing. So just getting set up, like literally how do you set up your page, right? Setting up your welcome message, sending a broadcast, all the different cool things that you can do with broadcasts, additional actions, right? So there's a lot of things like different tags and segmenting and sequencing, things like that. We show you how to use Flow Builder, right? That came out, maybe a month ago. So we show you how to use that. We show you how to use sequencing, how to get subscribers, right? How to actually use the growth tools, all the different things that the audience tab can do. And then it's called flows now, so I need to change that, but how to use the flow and the content tab as well. So that's one module. We also go over some other things as well. So we've had a lot, we have about 50 people on our course right now. And so I've been able to work with all 50 pretty personally and walk them through. So some of these coaching calls are really just how to get set up. We also have one on what we call the accelerator method. And this is really an advanced sales technique that you can use with your chatbots. We have something, this was how to run ads to it. This one talked about pricing and positioning, which ones to use, chat fuel, ManyChat, things like that. Chat fuel setup, so lots of things in here. How to use Zapier, how to integrate it there, how to export your data to Google Sheets, how to run ads to your stuff. What else is in here? We talked about how to run ads, right? How to do it both with click to campaign and then also comment to campaign, a comment to bot. So those are great. Then there's a whole module in here. Some of you guys are talking about how to market it, right? There's a whole module in here on how to start your chatbot agency and how to actually sell, chatbots. So we've got videos here, 1, 2, how to explain chatbots, how to start your agency, different ways that you can get clients. We had a group call that was really focused on selling bots. Another way that you can use bots within businesses, and then we had a masterclass on starting a chatbot. So lots of stuff that's in here too. What else do we have in here? We walk through all of the stuff. So if you guys get in as well, you also are going to get templates. So you're going to get a home service template. You'll get that real estate template as well. You'll get an e-commerce template. You'll get a live event template and then a restaurant template. So everybody who joins our course gets these 5 templates. And so these are just video walkthroughs to kind of help you out, kind of as well. So that's the content in the course. Does that make sense? I feel like that alone is probably worth, a lot more than what we're charging for this stuff. But that's just the course. Okay. But I always think that it's important. Like people always ask, like, why are you charging for this stuff? And I had to think about it too, when I got into course, building and course creating, like, why did I charge? And it really dawned on me back when I was in high school, when we would play fantasy football. And if you guys don't know anything about fantasy football, it's basically just like a game, right? And when there was no money on the line, no one really cared. And by the end of the season, nobody even paid attention. Nobody even was really interested at all. But all of a sudden the next year we're like, okay, that didn't work out. So everybody put in $5. And because they put in $5, everybody was talking shit. Everybody was checking their, stuff every day. There was so much competition, right? All the way up to the very end. And I think like people still today like have bragging rights over like that one year because there was $5 that they had invested into it. So that's why I find that when people join our course, right, like it's really about making a commitment to themselves. Like they're like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. Like I'm finally going to build a bot. I'm finally going to use messenger marketing. I'm finally going to go out and get these clients, right? Like, I think it's more of a commitment to themselves more than anything. So that's why we do it. But we also have a live weekly Q&A. And so every week what we do is we have an opportunity for people to hop on, ask questions, for people to get, whether it's small, easy questions, whether it's large questions. How do I do this? How do I utilize that? What do we talk about? We talked a lot about pricing and positioning. We talked a lot about how, one of our students, Samira, she's a medical, she does like medical, physical therapy, right? And so she's like, how would I work? How would it apply to me? And so we spent the whole lot, diving into that. And I just think it's an awesome opportunity for people to really, the content is great, but when you're able to hop on and ask questions and do that, in a live setting, I think that's so amazing. So here's one of our other students, Will Boyd. Will is the founder of Healthcare Digital Marketing. It's a group, and he's also the founder of the Nobody's podcast, and also a physical therapist himself. And he really just said that it was just helpful to have someone who's experienced to be able to kind of walk him through that stuff, because I've made tons of mistakes. And so a lot of these videos are based off of the mistakes that I made. And so that you don't have to make those same mistakes, right? Is really what it comes down to. Carl is also someone who joined very early in our beta program. And he was someone before I even had like a full course. He was someone who is kind of a physical trainer, owned a physical gym, but wanted to move his business online and was just looking for a way to be able to stand out, looking for a way to be able to do it, cost effectively, frankly. And he said that, like I know personally, it was like things were very, very tight for him. And, he had, like, he bought it in, and he said that he went out on a limb, and, it's funny. He says he wants more. And it's just the reason I say that is we always try and give way more value than what the cost is ever worth. So you get the course, you're going to get access to all that information, and you get lifetime access. So every time we add new videos in, you're going to get all that new information. Every time we add in new content, you're going to get new that. We're going to start, bringing on experts and bringing on different people, different chat fuel experts, different ManyChat experts. I've actually had, some, conversations with the ManyChat CEO. And so we're going to try and bring him in, things like that, so that you guys can really connect with high level people as well. And then we're also going to give you the template. So I mentioned that we're going to give you a real estate template. We're going to give you a home services template. We're going to give you a live event template, an e-commerce template, and then a restaurant template. So that way you have kind of a starting place. And I saw that one of the students who bought in, he's like, it's so helpful to be able to see, you know, how these things are being used, because they're like starting places for him as well. And so I just think for you guys, like, what if it got you one more client, right? Like, would it be worth it? Like, you know, what if it got you that first client? What if you go out there and you charge, you know, your, customer $1,000 and it pays for itself, you know, fivefold, you know? So what you're going to get is you're going to get the course, right? We also do a weekly Q&A there every Friday morning. Okay. At least West Coast time. So maybe, you know, afternoon, or we do them, you know, when people can make them. You're also going to get the chatbot templates. We're going to give you 5 of them: real estate, e-commerce, live event, restaurant, home services as well. And then if you guys join today, right, if you're one of the 12, you guys are going to get a strategic implementation call with me, which is just a one-on-one coaching call. It's like your golden ticket, where at any time, if you have questions, if at any time you want to get help, if at any time you want to be able to, you know, dig in a little further and like basically have me, like, will you have, you know, half hour to an hour or so, or, you know, if we're you know, making progress and headway, you know, like I've gone longer with some people, but I will literally hop on a Zoom call with you and we will build bots together. And so that strategic implementation call is kind of like a golden ticket. And I asked people like what the best thing about the course was, and they always just said like it was ideas on how they can get clients, and the ideas on how they could use this stuff, ideas on how it could, you know, improve their business, ideas on how they can help them make more money, or to use this to leverage, to have more automation or more freedom in their life, right? But just possibilities was the biggest thing. And, you know, it works for digital marketers, it works for agency owners, it works for store owners, right? Or it even works for like traditional businesses, you know, brick and mortar businesses as well. And I also think that even for someone who doesn't even have a business, it's great for them as well. I've had one of the people who bought into our course at an earlier, you know, at a lower price. She came in, she didn't even have a business yet. She's just like, I know I want to build my brand. I know I need to start paying attention to this stuff. So I want to have access to this. And she gets lifetime access. And she actually got it when it was half the price of what it was now. And so, you know, she still has access to all of our live calls and stuff like that. So even for people who don't have a business yet, it's great. My first bot was for a CrossFit gym. It was actually for that CrossFit gym. I don't know if you remember the story I told you about, but that campaign that I built was for a CrossFit gym. So, you know, this was for an old thing, and I people always laugh at this value here, and you can look at it a couple ways, but the reality is that we just try and give a ton of value, right? We try and just over deliver, and the course alone, you know, could probably go on Udemy for $197, right? The weekly Q&As, I mean, freaking A. For an hour of my time, I mean, like, I have people who reach out to me and ask me how much it costs for an hour of my time. And like, I don't even reply to that. I don't have a number. So like, that is kind of invaluable. The templates, I know some people charge like $1,000 for some of the, you know, $500 for some of these templates. And then the one-on-one call, I mean, once again, like, you know, point is that you're going to get a ton. So I'm also going to give you some other stuff too. So there's 2 bonuses on here. So these are down here, and the reason is because I had some other stuff. So I've been creating content for quite some time. So in addition to that, you're also going to get my other courses. So I have a course just on how to start a business, how to create a business you love, how to find your strengths, right? Different mindsets, like these kind of things. Also how to find your ideal client, like different kind of stuff. Bunch of mini courses. I also have some deep dives, how to start a business, digital marketing boot camps. And then I also interviewed a bunch of people. So I've interviewed some of my mentors and some of the people who I look up to and help me start businesses, best-selling authors, you know, world-renowned bloggers, you know, digital marketers, real estate investors. I mean, the list goes on and on. Who is in wealth? Financial coaches, you know, real estate people, you know, business mind. I mean, literally all over. So you get access to all this stuff. There's also a ton of resources in here as well, a bunch of bonuses. So I just want to give value. You know, I think it's the biggest thing. So you get all that stuff too. So you get it all. You get the course, the weekly Q&A, the templates, the one-on-one call with me, and then you also get the templates and the learning library access. And literally you can see why eventually we're going to get up to $9.97, right? It will be a $9.97 course eventually. But today, I mentioned that I did have 17 spots. There are only 12 spots available. Literally, there's only 12 spots left. So for some reason, 16 of you guys decided that it would be worth it to stick around for an hour and a half almost down here. So if you guys want to get in, you guys want to go more, and you guys want to hang out with me on a weekly basis, go to millennialskills.com/chatbot course. I'll throw that up in the group. Jahan says it's actually twice the value of what I'm quoting. Yeah, probably. But, you know, like I said, this thing was more because I wanted to, there wasn't any people out there. And I think this will be my last course that I like ever sell. You know, that's my own, because I think that courses aren't, I don't want to just create a course, right? For me, I look at it as like, you know, not just the course, but like really about the community, you know, more than anything. And at this point you have two choices. And the first is just to do nothing, and that's great. And that's fine. And that, you know, hopefully you learn some stuff. But what I found is that information alone isn't enough. And if you pony up a small investment, what that does is that triggers, you know, that triggers something inside you, that triggers, you know, a commitment inside you. And so, you know, if you wanted to get started with chatbots and get started with messenger marketing in a big way, you can do that. And only $197, literally, that's probably the cheapest it'll ever be. Again, after these 12 spots, we're going to close it down and it'll go up to $297, and then I'll open it up again, and then it'll go up to $397 and $497, and it'll go all the way up to $997 until we get all the way there. And guys, there's a 30-day guarantee. So seriously, for any reason at all, if it just wasn't worth it, just send me a message. Like, it's no big deal. Just send me a message, and I'm not here to kind of like steal your money. I want to make sure that I want to make sure that we can keep these things going. And I want to make sure that obviously that I have to be able to pay, you know, my bills, and I've got a wedding, you know, coming up, and I've got things that I need to be able to support. But I also want to make sure that this is a commitment from you, that when you're here, you're going to take action. And so it looks like someone just hopped in. So we have a few people who have already hopped in. So now there is officially, I have to check and go in again, but there are officially only 11 spots available. So who is, I don't want to put their email on blast. But let me know if you guys hopped in, because we had somebody that I just got a notification in. Let me know if you just hopped in as well. So seriously, send me a message. I had one guy who's like, hey, I'm not gonna be an entrepreneur. Like, this isn't gonna work out. Like for me, it was like nothing about the course. It was just like, you know, I'm just not the right time for me. He said, you know, he needed to resign. And I was like, literally, no worries. That's it. So for you, is it worth, you know, gambling a little bit of time, right? If you think about it, over this month, like if you were to get like one client, could you get one client that paid you $200? Jesus Christ. Could you get one client that paid you $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000? It could pay for itself 10, 20, 30 times over, right? Or, you know, if you're selling products, right? Like how quickly could you make that back, right? How quickly could you get back, you know, the $200? And I said it earlier, and this is something that I feel really strongly about, because I don't like that a lot of courses, they just kind of hang you out to dry. But for this, we really want to give you the coaching. We want to give you the community more than anything, right? So you'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to get one-on-one help, individual attention, and then you'll be able to connect and learn from other people on our calls. Like, there's a lot of times where we have, you know, some experts like Pat Friedel. We have some experts. We have some experts for, you know, like Tina Sibley, who's in webinars, right? And they're able to offer these insights. And so you're able to get help from more people than just me. And so I think someone asked me about what my first bot was. Here it is. Here's literally the actual funnel right here, right? On the left there was the landing page, and we had nobody do that, right? You know, pretty basic. Name, email address, phone number, ClickFunnels, right? It was like pretty, you know, compelling offer, we thought. But what ended up happening is that no one converted. And then on the other side, right, we converted it to, at the time, it was just a comment to Messenger. It was really like Facebook hadn't even opened up Messenger campaign ads, or they hadn't even opened up the ability to run, you know, like it wasn't big. And so we just ran this one, and we got 42 people commented. And I think out of those 42 people, I think 20 of them, 15, 20 people came in. So, you know, doing that, 20 people, that was 1,200, right? That was like almost $20,000 in, you know, lifetime value. So it's just huge, right? Thanks, Ken, for hanging out. I appreciate you hanging out, my man, as well. So when you guys click it, like literally this site, I have to tell you, was designed for mobile. Okay, I got to tell you this. It was designed for mobile, and I really built it so that when you click that button, you just click the button, and then you know, you can scroll down, see what you're going to get, and then you put in your information. But literally, you'll put that in right here, okay? And then, oops, you guys can't see that. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about. You'll go here, and this site was just built for mobile, but here on this desktop, it looks like, you know, butt crack, and that's okay. But you put in your information, you complete order, and then it's going to send all of your login information to your email. So you'll actually be able to log in there. And then when you get in, okay, when you get in, I would go through these, start here, right? If you guys are like very, very brand new from the very beginning, you just start here. And then if you want your chatbot templates, right? If you bought the course and you want all 5 of them, you send it here, right? So it has your stuff there, and we'll make sure we get that information back to you. And then we're also going to add you to our group chat. So if I go in here, we have a group chat that we make sure that we post a bunch of stuff and updates and things in there. So you'll also have an opportunity to be able to ask boom, right? What happened? Why didn't it show up? It was right there. Boom. So this one here, I don't know what it is, but you can see that we've got a bunch of people in our Build a Bot program. So you'll get added to this one right here, this group conversation. You'll get added to that one. Oh, here it is. So you'll get added to here, and we have a bunch of people who ask questions, or if you need help, or you're looking for a connection, or whatever it is, we have a bunch of stuff that goes on in here. Like if people ask a specific question, I can jump in and answer it quickly, you know, right in here, so everybody can get help. So this is also what what you get access to as well. So I'm going to add you to that. I'll add just the private messenger group. So you get it all. You get the course. I went through all that stuff. You get the live weekly Q&As. You get 5 templates. You're going to get a one-on-one call with me, and then you get access to all that info. There's only 12 spots. Actually, now there's 11, right? There's actually only 11. Oh, I lied. There's actually only 10 spots available. Literally, as I said that, Kenneth got in. So there's only 10 spots available. And I have this picture up here because this is an iterative price. People might go, oh, well, I'm not going to pay. How could it be worth anything at 197? And the reality is I understand that sentiment. So that's why I started it out. At the very beginning, it started out at 97, and then it went to 147, and now it's at 197, and then it's going to go up to 297. And the reason is because we continue to add on to the course, and we continue to improve it, and it's a live, breathing course that you get lifetime access to. So it's never going to be cheaper than it is now, you know, aside from maybe some flash deals or anything like that. So this is the cheapest that it'll ever be. And, you know, if you didn't sign up, of course, I'm not going anywhere. You can keep hopping on my live videos and stuff like that. But the first thing that you're risking is time. Like you literally have an opportunity in front of you to go out there and get clients, you know, so much easier than pitching Facebook ads or SEO or Google AdWords or whatever it is, because that's just a crowded space. And you're also risking the time of kind of going through it on your own, right? You're risking money. Think of all the money that, you know, you could go out and buy other courses. There are other courses that are much more expensive. And the funny thing is I don't know that they are. I see some of the bots from the people who make courses, and their bots are terrible. So I'm like, how good could the course be? You know, but you risk money, you know, and you could go out and buy other bot course, and I would encourage you to. I would really encourage you to do that. And the last thing is failure. And I say that because I failed a lot on my own. There was no resource for me to be able to get these answers and get this help. So for me, it was, you know, it was challenging. So that's why I created the course, so that you guys don't have to do that. So get started. Literally, it's 197. Go get in millennialskills.com/chatbot course as well. And then if you have any questions, you guys feel free to throw those down there. Otherwise, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys sticking around and hanging out. And I know there's actually, it looks like only 10 spots left out of those 12. So originally there was 17. We sold 7 of them, so there's only 10 spots that are available. And this will go out to all the rest of the people on the list. And we had about 25 people on live or so. And so I think about 100 people are going to get the replay. So out of those, some of them will probably join too. Mike says, can I send the link? Yeah, sure, I can send the link. So the link's coming through as well. Yep, hopefully that helps. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you got some value out of this, guys. I know that anytime I ask you to give up your time, I know that there is a big, that's just a big ask. I know that time is the most valuable thing that you can give, and I think a lot of people don't realize that time is a bigger ask than money. A lot of times, a lot of people are willing to pay money so that they don't have to spend the time doing it. So when you're asking someone to sit on a training with you for now an hour and a half, it's great. And I appreciate that more than anything. Mike, the replay will be up for about 48 hours is usually how long I keep them up. And then I put them into the course section. So if you want to watch it, this weekend or whatever, that'll be available in the course. Millennial Skills. Oh, Mike, I'm a dunce. This is what happens when you type your links instead of copying and pasting. I didn't spell it right is what it is. I only put one N in there. My bad, man. Daniel, the videos are usually about 10 minutes or so. Each video I try to keep about 10 minutes so that they're shorter and sweeter. And then the live calls go about an hour. Each week we have a live call that go for about an hour. So, cool. Well, thanks guys for hanging out. Like I said, this was awesome. This was definitely great. Phil, it looks like you are almost in. So reach out to me, man, and send me a message if you didn't get any of the info. It looks like there is 9 spots that are going to be available. The live calls are usually at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, and so that puts that at 12:30 Eastern, and I think 9:30, 12:30 Eastern. So I don't know what that is. My math isn't that great. I think 5 UK, something like that. 5-ish, yeah. So that way we do it a little earlier, so that you guys on the other side can be on as well. Let's see. Cool. All right, cool. Phil, you're in. And you guys, if you guys have questions about chatbots, or if you guys have, whatever it is, send me messages, right? And I will make sure that I follow up with everybody who put their email into the chat. I will make sure that you guys get your chatbot template as well. So if you guys have not put your email in, you can even send it to me privately. You don't have to put everybody out on it. Everybody doesn't have to see it. You can just send it to me privately, and I will get that to you as well. But other than that, it's an hour and a half, guys, and you guys are amazing. So go get in the course. I'm going to put the link in there one more time, and I'm going to spell it right, because that's important, I guess, when you are doing stuff, right? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I need to send that to everybody. Bam. There it is. All right, Colin, got it. Got your email, guys. Throw down your email if you guys want the real estate template, and I will have my assistant send that out to you as well. So have an amazing Wednesday. Have an amazing week. Guys, it's crazy that it's the first week of January is already almost halfway over. So, yeah, you guys are awesome. All right, it looks like there are 8 spots left. So 8 spots left in the course. So go act now. Looks like Mike's in. So only 8 spots left for the rest of you. And hopefully you have an amazing Wednesday, and go build some bots, sell some bots, make some money. Peace. Jahan, you have an awesome day. Mike, I look forward to the questions, my man. All right, you guys have an awesome one. Peace.